Let me be very clear from the start. Most financial mistakes after 50 don't feel like mistakes. They feel responsible, they feel safe, they feel logical. That's why they're so dangerous. I've watched intelligent, disciplined people do everything right for decades and then quietly sabotage themselves in the final stretch. Not because they were reckless, but because they misunderstood risk, time, and comfort. If you're over 50, this video is not optional, because the mistake I'm about to explain doesn't destroy wealth overnight. It erodes it slowly while you're telling yourself everything is fine. By the time people reach their 50 seconds, something changes. They stop asking, how do I build? And they start asking, how do I not lose? That sounds wise, but here's the problem. Fear starts masquerading as prudence. I've seen people freeze. They stop adjusting. They stop thinking. They stop questioning their assumptions. They hold on to what used to work, even when the world has changed, and slowly, quietly, their financial position weakens, not from bad luck, from inaction. Here's what I learned after decades of watching markets, cycles, and human behavior. The biggest risk after 50 is not volatility. It's complacency. By the end of this video, you'll understand why playing it safe often backfires, how silent risks sneak into stable portfolios, and how to adjust without gambling your future. This is not about chasing returns. It's about staying alive financially with clarity and confidence. I confused comfort with safety. When I was younger, I thought safety meant familiarity. If something felt stable, I assumed it was stable. I learned the hard way that comfort is not the same as safety. I've seen people hold assets they understand but no longer serve them. They say things like, I've always owned this, it's never failed me before. At least I know what I have. That mindset feels calm, but markets don't care about your comfort. True safety comes from balance, not familiarity. Takeaway: don't confuse emotional comfort with real protection. I watched inaction do more damage than bad decisions. People fear making the wrong move, so they make no move at all. I've watched portfolios decay not because of one bad decision, but because of 10 years of none. Inflation eats quietly. Market structure shifts quietly. Risk accumulates quietly. And one day, people wake up shocked by results that were years in the making. Inaction feels harmless, but it compounds. Takeaway: doing nothing is still a decision, and often the worst one. I learned that risk changes with age. Risk is not a fixed thing. What was acceptable at 30 is dangerous at 60. What was conservative at 40 can be reckless at 70. I've seen people apply the same strategy across decades, ignoring that time itself changes the equation. After 50, the margin for recovery shrinks. Mistakes cost more. Drawdowns hurt longer. That doesn't mean you avoid risk. It means you manage it intelligently. Takeaway: risk must evolve as your life evolves. I stopped trusting simple narratives. People love simple stories. Stocks always go up. Bonds are safe. Real estate never fails. Reality is more complicated. Markets move in cycles. Economic regimes change. Correlation shifts. I stopped trusting single asset solutions. Diversification isn't optional, it's survival. Not diversification by names. Diversification by behavior. Takeaway: if your plan depends on one outcome, it's fragile. I learned that cash is not always safe. People treat cash like a sanctuary. It feels stable. It doesn't fluctuate. It doesn't scare you. But inflation is a silent thief. I've watched people lose purchasing power year after year while feeling safe. Cash is a tool, not a solution. It protects short-term certainty, not long-term security. Takeaway: safety that slowly erodes is not safety. You've been told once you're over 50, you should stop adjusting. That's wrong. You've been told risk equals danger. Wrong again. And you've been told playing it safe guarantees peace. That's the most dangerous myth of all. Peace comes from clarity, not avoidance. Here's the simple framework I follow. Observe, understand what's actually happening, not what you hope is happening. Balance. No single bet should determine your future. Protect. Always know what happens if you're wrong. Adapt. Markets change. You must too. Endure. Think in decades, not headlines. This framework doesn't excite people. It protects them. The silent money mistake after 50 isn't greed. It's comfort. It's hesitation. It's assuming tomorrow will look like yesterday. I've seen how that story ends. Don't let familiarity trap you. Don't let fear freeze you. And don't confuse calm with control. If you want more lessons like this, clear, honest, and grounded in reality, subscribe and stay with me. Because principles matter most when time matters most.